Cryptocurrency settlement solutions in iGaming. Cryptocurrency has proven to have favorable operator user cases across industries. Let's take a 360 look at the projects that made it through the 2018 meat grinder. Moderated by Damian Mifsud, KnowMeNow, Chris Smart, eMerchant Pay, Paul Marcantonio, Ecom Pay, Patryk Kadlec, BitbayPay, Bruce Merati, BC Technologies.
Should we start? Good morning, everyone. We seem to have the graveyard shift, guys. But the positive about the graveyard shift means that the people here really want to listen to what you want to hear. They want to listen to you, not to me. So let's start off with some introductions, and then we'll kick off into some questions to get the discussion going. So would you like to give each maybe a 30-second introduction to yourself and your companies?
Morning, everybody. My name is Paul Marcantonio, and I am head of UK and Western Europe for Ecom Pay Limited. We are a full 360 payment solution provider specializing in global credit card acquisition. We've been going for around 7 years, and we have around 620 employees globally, FCA regulated, and with a whole host of alternative payment methods as well to back up our credit card acquisition portfolio.
Hi, my name is Patryk Kadlec. I'm CEO of BitbayPay, and which is a group company from BitBay Group, which is also holding the exchange for cryptocurrencies, crypto to fiat, one of the third biggest exchanges in Europe. And right now we are setting up a product, BitbayPay, to conduct payments in e-commerce, iGaming, and many other industries.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Bruce Merati. I'm COO of BC Technologies. I've been involved in gaming Nevada style or US style for 20 plus years. I was part of one of the first iGaming ventures in '96. Back then it was Cryptologic, Boss Media, and our company was VertGame. We were the only one probably from the US, and I got the code 7995 from Barclays in '97 and Visa International based on the business model we built. But because this company that we had was a public company based in the US, and the US was originally, Nevada was for it, but then the politics from Washington, D.C. Kept our business away. So we moved away from our iGaming business to Nevada-style business. And when we were running our business, we had to do everything, including credit card processing, building the solution, doing the B2C. The industry was obviously just starting. And I've kept busy with everything to do with Nevada gaming and other aspects of the US, including running land-based casinos. I'm now back for the last 4 or 5 years into iGaming, and especially sportsbook. We built one of the first sportsbooks in Nevada, where this is in year 2000. If you search Forbes and my name, you see in year 2000, it says VertGame goes live online in Nevada, which only you could use. Back then it was dial-up. So online gaming system, sports wagering, has been around for almost 20 years. Now, when it comes to
Bruce, introduction.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Let's move on. Let's move on because we're on a limited time period. We're slowly seeing crypto settlements come into a number of verticals. Obviously, gaming is specifically probably attractive to them. So how do you see crypto settlements, Paul, and the crypto settlement solutions being viable alternatives to traditional payments such as yourselves?
Yeah. So crypto is super interesting, not only because you see greater adoption in the younger generations, and the interesting statistics that we saw earlier from BitbayPay. So that more or less reinforces what we're seeing. So obviously we've adopted a few crypto exchanges within our portfolio of alternative payment methods. But interestingly enough, although it started from iGaming, which I guess is no real surprise, you know, because it's a tech-heavy product, and the 18 to 34 demographic are typically the key, you know, gamers and gamblers. Okay, that's what we see in UK and Western Europe. But what I'm seeing actually, because I oversee the whole of our business portfolio, is that we're seeing quite an aggressive crossover into other industries. So you're getting an adoption of crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on, and new ones that are popping up into industries like travel, mobility, hospitality. I, for one, a couple of years ago, wouldn't have expected that at all. I just thought it would be very much integrated into iGaming and gambling and so on. But we are seeing this crossover. So I see that to continue. And it will start with the Generation X and the younger generations.
And do you feel it transcends borders? You know, one of the aspects on the question was about the borderless element. Do you feel it crypto transcends borders more easily than the rules and regulations around, you know, card payments and what the case may be?
Of course it does. Of course it does. But you know, for me, credit card acquiring is my bread and butter. Right. But yeah, of course, it does make things easier on that side.
Patryk?
Yes, I would like to add one thing, because for the last 15 years I was touching all the industries we are talk about here. Yeah? So from being a payment provider for 7 years in Poland, .pay. Then I switched to G2A.com, which is was a marketplace for gamers. So here we had also like 20 million players. So I see the combination of the payments and the gaming in the crypto world. And as a checkout solution right now, which is connected to the exchange, we see two vertical markets. First is that we all wish to see in the e-commerce, iGaming platforms to make a deposit. This is one thing, but another big chunk of the cake is the withdrawal process. And for merchants across the globe, the cross-border transactions, this is the biggest percentage of transactions that we are making. Yeah, so we see the adoption of this cryptocurrency in a retail store, in the e-commerce sites. It will take long. Yeah, probably maybe Libra and other stable coins will also speed up this adoption. But I see in the cross-border is like when you compare it to SWIFT or to SEPA, even within Europe, and when you have to transact between Asia or LATAM is the biggest area for us. It's for me, crypto is the best solution out there. Great. That's we are investing a lot of time and technicalities to prove that it's
Thank you, Patryk. And Bruce, what's the view from
so
Nevada?
After my long introduction, let me tell you what I believe, because the U.S. is very different. So U.S. is basically almost 1,000 land-based casinos. And as online sports wagering and online casinos happening, it's just typical that the people who have the license for land-based, or if they're lotteries, there are some situations where the lotteries get the license. So U.S. is very different than, obviously, Europe. And I believe that the way that the U.S. would go would be a casino cryptocurrency where, casinos already have two of their own currencies. That's their chips and ticket in, ticket out. So all the regulations, the accounting, counting the money at the cage level, and the trust that people have with the casino. They trust their money more with casinos than Federal Reserve. So I think there is an immediate potential in the US. Somebody brings new technology, which is a digital currency that's backed by the money that people put in the cage or in the hands of the regulators and casinos, and then they use that money for online wagering, which has low margin and doesn't really support credit card processing and other expenses, which now the operators in the US are realizing. So if somebody comes and says, hey, we want to give you a solution that when you leave the casino, instead of you cashing out your $200 chips, you put it in your wallet, but now you can go back home and use that for wagering, and it doesn't cost the casino any more money, and they can also use it in the resort for foods and other things. That will be an immediate sell to the casinos and the regulators.
Thanks, Bruce. That's a really interesting view, you know. Paul, going to, I suppose one of the challenges is the crypto exchanges and working with identifying payment providers to work with. So what do you feel are the challenges of a crypto exchange when trying to find robust payment providers?
This is a good question. So we are approached by a number of Bitcoin providers, Bitcoin exchanges, crypto exchanges, and so on. And there is a heightened level of due diligence that the compliance AML teams will need to go through. Unfortunately, and we discussed this yesterday in our briefing, there is a stigma attached to crypto. And some of the more unfortunate cases of these crypto exchanges collapsing and money disappearing, this can bring down businesses. It can absolutely bring down businesses. So unfortunately, when we are approached, certainly by new exchanges that are approached, there is always that level of deeper KYB, KYC that we have to go through. And again, it's about making sure that the safeguards are in place, not only for the payment provider themselves, but also for the end user, absolutely. But another thing as well is to make sure that the payment provider has the infrastructure to facilitate the crypto exchanges. And we spoke about paying out and settling out. Still, there is that, again, banks do have varying levels of appetite for crypto. So, are you able to settle out? Do you have enough corresponding banks in your war chest to be able to settle out efficiently and effectively? And that's one of the things that an exchange would need to make sure that they have in their payment provider.
Patryk, you're in the middle of all this action, so you tell us your view.
Yes. Actually, this is a great point you stated, because in early days, like 2-3 years ago, it was easy to transact with the fiat money, because all the PSPs or banks were just welcoming us as a new solution coming up. But last year was very, very hard on the compliance, AML, KYC stuff. So actually, when you sign up with the exchange, you make the same process even worse to the end user's perspective, as you are creating a bank account. Yeah? And also, we are dealing with banks and PSPs on both hands, because first, we need to settle out the money to, for example, PSP that we work, but also PSP needs from us all the compliance documents, also guarantees, so we don't collapse. Yeah, this is and we are talking about millions of euros in our case. To be sure, but you have in inquiring also you have a rolling reserve, very similar, but the merchant cannot disappear so quickly.
Yeah, but again, rolling reserve is an interesting topic. I mean, it's liquidity, right? It's cash flow. Where again, when you're talking about, if we talk specifically about a new exchange that's coming onto the block, and you would have to hold a certain amount of money for 60, 90, 120 days or whatever. You know, that can be quite a big impact for that business.
We do the daily payment, so it goes down, yeah, but yeah, on the large volume.
Thank you, Bruce.
Okay,
Your
so
view from the US?
again, for the US market,
That's why you're here, Bruce.
there is no way, at least in my lifetime,
Right.
That casinos and regulators would allow their operators to be attached to any kind of a exchange like Bitcoin and similar. So, however, they could, and that situation right now exists. For example, if you go to Las Vegas, you go to MGM, and you take their chips and you go to Bellagio, they accept that. So they already have those procedures in place. What this would do, it would make it digital. And it's a better solution, more efficient, and doesn't need any regulatory approval, process, because the procedures are in place. What needs to happen is to educate the regulators, which are now more willing to listen, as we know in New Jersey, than before, and the fact that casinos are now going basically with the sports wagering and hopefully soon with online gaming. I think this would be something that they would immediately adopt.
Thank you. We're running out of time, unfortunately. Crypto exchanges, obviously, people like you, Patryk, are obviously now jostling for position to be the new banks, the operators. You know, what do you feel from a pragmatic perspective and maybe from a regulatory perspective for the operators really to make that switch and really starting seeing you as the bank of choice?
You know, so we have few assets that could be shared with our clients. Yeah. So first of all, we as an exchange, we have more, let's say 70% of the people that are signed up with us. We know how much money they have. Yeah. And there is a few market trends that you could be attached to sales or to gambling or different actions when you spend money. Where BTC going up or down, people get nervous. Oh, what I'm going to do with my money? Yeah, so I need to spend it now. Yeah, so you have spontaneous purchases that we right now we have 1 million clients with the fully KYC'd, AML'd. So this is also could be from perspective of legal. We need to find a solution, but still we have all those customers ready to go. Yeah, so this is one thing, and we know the volumes and they are very very similar to forex or the gamblers, also gamers. So we can combine those forces and provide a very very slick introduction.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Paul.
Because of time, I'll keep it really short and sweet. My perspective is that build it and they'll come. You're clearly using data, and you're using that data to build your business. And I think that more and more businesses are doing that, certainly in payments. And I feel that you're going to see a natural transgression from traditional banking into digital banking, crypto, absolutely. And I think that if the ease of use of crypto, if there's an education around the stability and safeguarding around crypto, I think you'll get greater and deeper adoption. And as you get greater and deeper adoption, you'll see more businesses, more online commerce providing or offering crypto as a way to pay. And so that's where I see that going. I don't have a crystal ball, but I think it's going to be sooner than more people would expect.
Yeah, thank you. And Bruce, you already said that you think it's a long way off in the US for people to start.
So I think what will happen is some of the technologies that are getting built by companies like yours and so forth, they can be kind of changed, adopted for the US market. But any kind of attachment to an exchange, crypto. Crypto is a general word, right? So anything that does anything to do with the dark internet of Bitcoin and other things would not be accepted. So one needs to detach that link with the exchange in order to get to the US market.
Okay, guys, we have 45 seconds left, so you have maybe 10 seconds each by the time I finish talking to tell us what your final thoughts are, what opportunity you may see in your own company in this space.
We're obviously embracing it, but we're embracing it with proportionate levels, and we are working on projects that involve crypto.
Patryk?
So our goal is to become a next generation bank, actually. That's it.
Bruce, you have 20 seconds. You see, they respect that you like speaking more.
Okay, so we are, BC Technologies is Nevada licensed. It's a affiliate of Bet Construction Family. And I'm helping to get to the market. And when you license in Nevada, you have